Hello, and welcome to another pre-release video, not for a Pixel, but for the Galaxy S23 FE, which came in yesterday to my AT&T store. I was able to, spend some time with it, shoot some video as normal. I was only with it for about 45 minutes, so as normal, this is not a review. This is a, just kind of a speculation. Let's unbox it and see what's there. First impressions. So take that as you will. One UI is great. I'll start off there. It's very snappy. It's very, very quick, especially with the high refresh rate screen on it. The phone is a 6.4 inch screen, which is actually a really, really good sweet spot. 6.7 inch is big. This is a 15 plus. It's still, I got big hands and it's still very big. 6.1 inch feels just a tad small, but 6.4 is a really good sweet spot. So I actually like that a lot about this phone. It is an aluminum frame, glass front and back, and it feels almost exactly like the Pixel 7a. It's actually a very similar build to the A54 as well. Samsung's, for some reason, with the 54, 53, 52, that specific model has predicted what the next flagship model will look like over the last few years. If you go back and check it out, a lot of them line up. It's really strange. I don't know if they use it as like a testing model or something, but this one feels a lot like the A54. The back feels almost exactly like the Pixel 7a, even though it's glass. And it's very, very snappy. The high refresh rate screen is great. The 8 megapixel RAM holds up very well for the 45 minutes I used it. And the 45 milliamp hour battery, 4500 milliamp hour battery, obviously, actually held up really well too. So I got some 4K, I got some 8K footage because it does shoot in 8K. And it didn't skip a beat. I started at about 62% and I put it back on the wall, back in the claw at about 54% after about an hour's worth of shooting video and using nearby share and all that stuff. So it actually held up pretty well in my very limited usage. All right, hello everyone. This is a quick video test from the S23 FE that just released at the store. Get yours for $10 a month at AT&T, link below. It's a really nice device. Processor seems great so far. It's running really well. It's not overheating from the setup and the demo mode that I had to load onto it and everything. It's running really smooth actually. It's a little bit like the Pixel 8 in that the back of it, even though it is glass, does feel like plastic. I think it's glass. I actually haven't looked it up yet, so correct me if it's not glass, because that would explain why it feels like plastic. But it's a nice device. It's thick. It's sturdy. It's a really, really nice device. It feels a lot like the A54 last year. This is a great test, by the way. This is UHD 60 frames per second, I believe. There's no 4K option on the selfie camera. But it's really windy today, it's really cold, and there's a lot of traffic around. When I say really cold, it's like 45, but it's windy. That's cold for Virginia. So yeah, let me know how this looks. Let me know how it sounds. We'll get some rear video here in a second. All right, so this is Ultra HD, UHD, 60 frames per second on the rear camera on the S23 FE for $10 a month right now at AT&T. You can zoom in all the way to 10x. From here it looks a little bit grainy, but let me know how it looks, post-processing and everything. The colors actually look really good, I'm not gonna lie. It does have 3 lenses on the back, but this is as wide as it goes. It's a 1x. So, not the greatest, most versatile camera in the world, but you wouldn't expect that out of a $10 device, the budget level model. It does shoot in 8K 24 frames per second, which I may put a clip of that in here, but I mean, I haven't really decided yet. After post-processing and YouTube and everything, you're not going to be able to tell any difference anyway. So yeah, I mean, this is UHD 60 frames per second, same as the selfie camera, which I guess maybe is their version of 4K. Maybe I was wrong about that, but colors are pretty good. Let's capture the sun, see how it does with lens flares. See how it does with noise and sound. And let's zoom in to Coles over there like I usually do. The Coles test, as it were. Got some leaves over there. Got some colors. It's not bad. It's pretty good for being this, this level of a camera. So we'll get some focus in on here too. See, it's pretty good. It's a pretty decent camera. It's very respectable for this price range. So this, by comparison, is a video from the Pixel 7a. Voice enhancement is turned on, still in the wind, still in the busy street, and it's 4K. So I don't know if the S23 FE should really be compared against this or maybe the 8A once it comes out. I don't really know. I'm not as familiar with the FE release cycle, but positives of the S23 FE so far is that it's a lot bigger. It does feel, the back feels about the same to me as the 7A. There's plastic or glass, it kind of feels the same. But it is a little bit bigger. Processor is a little bit snappier. That might just be one UI as well compared to the Pixel UI. But I don't know. Tell me how this compares with the other one. Do you like one better? Does one have better colors? Does one have better sound? What do you think? It's a really, really good size. It feels great in the hand. It's a good weight. It feels premium, but it doesn't feel over premiumed. It doesn't feel over engineered, if that makes sense. A lot of the newer phones, I've had people complaining, even about the new iPhones. They're like, "Oh, I'm so glad they got rid of the glass." Oh, and I have to tell them, like, the phone's still glass. Like, how do you think pass-through electricity works with electric? Like, you can't pass through metal. I know it's a nerd thing to know, like no one would think about it that way, but that's why the backs are all glass, because you got to pass through something. And they're always disappointed every time they find out that the iPhone is not literally made of full titanium back and everything. They are disappointed. So a lot of people are fatigued. A lot of regular, normal customers are fatigued by this over-engineered, very, very high-end, fancy phones. They would rather just keep it simpler. This ticks those boxes, and I think it's going to be a solid seller. Now, I did get a couple photos. Again, YouTube kind of compresses these, so take it as you will. It is a 50 megapixel camera, which is awesome, really cool in this budget level phone. Pixel 8 Pro just got a full 50 megapixel shooter like 3 weeks ago. So Galaxy is definitely pushing the envelope on this one, definitely pushing things forward, especially with that 8K footage, which I will include. I don't think you'll be able to tell much of a difference as far as quality goes, but you will be able to see that it's 24 frames per second only. And then the last thing that I decided I'm going to do, this is a shot in 8K, 24 frames per second. That's the only option. It's very windy today, pretty chilly. Let me know if this looks good or bad. It looks pretty choppy from here, but I can't tell if that's the actual screen or if it's just 24 frames per second, because it does look a little more choppy as it is. The phone is not heating up, or it's not struggling to do this at all. It's actually, quite cool. It's kind of doing this with a breeze. It's not really skipping a beat. So looks good so far. You got your resolution in there, I'll tell you that. But let me know what you think. This is a great little device. Stop by AT&T, stop by your local Verizon or Best Buy, pick it up, do a little guerrilla review, hashtag guerrilla reviews, and just tell the world what you think. Post it on Twitter, post it on Threads, share it with the world. Thanks, guys.